What's going on, everyone? Thank you for coming back to check out yet another video. Today we will be checking out the real GP per hour of the ever popular Green Dragons. So today's video is going to be a little different. Well, not so much different. I'll still be checking out how much you can really earn at the Green Dragons, but my comparison will be a little different than usual. As most of the RuneScape community knows, Green Dragon bots are probably the most popular bot throughout the game. When I was sorting through the viewer requests for NPCs to do for this series, I almost skipped over the Green Dragons because it's really just hides and bones that you'll be picking up, but after thinking about it for a minute, I got the idea to compare how I stack up against some of the advertised bots out there. Now, like you saw in the beginning of this video, I don't condone the use of bots for RuneScape. It is cheating and it is against the rules, but I did do a little research on several different organizations that sell their scripts to players that allow them to let the bot run and just make cash over time. So what I found out was there is a very wide range of GP per hour guarantees depending on what bot someone is using. I won't be mentioning any of these bots by name because I'm not trying to give people any ideas about botting. Essentially, I settled on 3 different bots, which we'll just call Bot 1, Bot 2, and Bot 3. So Bot 1's recommendations were somewhere between 75 and 85 combat and promised about at least 190k per hour. Bot 2 estimated that with a combat level between 95 and 105, it would earn someone about 250 to 275k per hour. And lastly, Bot 3 was saying that with a combat level of 115 or higher, it could earn someone a minimum of 365k GP per hour, all while not even being present at the computer. So near the end of this video, we'll take those numbers and compare them to what I was able to achieve. Don't worry, I did click the CAPTCHA. So Green Dragons have always been a staple moneymaker in RuneScape. They're located in the wilderness and pretty easy to get to. Depending on which spot you're at, it can also be very easy to get away from PKers as well. Green Dragons can be found in 4 different locations in the wilderness, which you'll see on your screen now. The most used spots are located just north of the Graveyard of Shadows and east of the Black Salamander hunting area. These are represented by the red circles. These 2 spots are the most popular due to their semi-close proximity to the Corporal Beast teleport. This is the method that most bots use to get to these dragons. However, if you are not a bot, which you clearly aren't, you can use the Karalanger teleport, which teleports you directly to the Graveyard of Shadows, and you'll only have to take a short run north to start your dragon killing spree. The Karalanger teleport is a level 84 ancient magic spell that requires 2 laws and 2 soul runes to use. There is also a teleport tablet that you can buy and use if you've completed Desert Treasure, but it is pretty expensive, so I don't recommend this. If you don't have 84 magic, I recommend just using the game's necklace and running there. Green Dragons are very weak dragons. They are the weakest fully grown dragon in the game at only a combat level of 79 and a hit points level of 75. They are very quick and very easy kills. Their max melee hit is only 8, but because they are a dragon, their fire breath attack is still very powerful and can hit up to 50 damage. So just like every other dragon, well, almost every other dragon except for the Brutals, you're going to want to make sure you have an anti-dragon shield. Their weaknesses are ranged and stabbed, but honestly, if you have some decent stats, anything will work here as they're such low combat levels. I usually go into combat stats of the NPC I'm fighting, but for Green Dragons, I don't really think it's worth it because of how low level they are. As for the drops, they have a very simplistic drop table. 1 dragon bone and 1 green dragon hide are guaranteed per drop. They drop all of the grimy herbs. The weapons and armor are pretty much useless as it's all very low tier gear. You can pick up the rune daggers if you'd like, but it's up to you. They do drop 75 water runes and 15 nature runes at a time, so I would pick those up if I were you. You can never have enough runes. And definitely keep an eye out for ensouled dragon heads as they can stack up over time and be a nice addition to your final loot value. If you're on a Wilderness Slayer task, the Green Dragons will also drop Mysterious Emblems at a rate of 1 in 117.5, and they will also drop Clue Scrolls at a rate of 1 in 128, or 1 in 64 if you're wearing the Ring of Wealth Eye. As for my gear setup, I'll actually be using a variation of gear that you should be using here since you're not a bot. For me, I'll be going with the Helm of Nitsnot, Zamorak God Cape because it's free, Amulet of Glory, Abyssal Whip, Black Dragonhide Body and Chaps, Dragonfire Shield, Rune Gloves, Primordial Boots, and a Ring of Life. As I will be in the wilderness, I want to make sure I'm only using 4 decent items as that is all you'll be able to protect with the Protect Item Prayer active should you get PK'd. As for my setup, I'll be protecting the Abyssal Whip, Primordial Boots, Dragonfire Shield, and Helm of Nitsnot. As for the rest of my items, they aren't very expensive at all, so should I get PK'd, I'm not at all worried about what I'm losing. It's only about 45k. Remember to swap out your Amulet of Glory every time it's out of charges. It is your lifeline out here. If you see a PKer, you can teleport immediately if you're below level 30 Wilderness, which if you use the Graveyard of Shadows spot, you always will be. In my inventory, my setup is very simple: 1 super attack, 1 super strength, 6 lobsters, a Carolanger teleport, and a looting bag. I can't stress enough, make sure you have a looting bag. The looting bag allows you to carry an extra 28 items, which can double your trip times to Green Dragons. If you need a looting bag, go find some thugs in about level 6 Wilderness and kill them until you get one. The drop rate is 1 in 30 and it won't take long to get at all. Now remember here, I am max combat, so I use very little food at Green Dragons. The lower your combat level, the more food you'll need. I use lobsters because they're cheap and it's all I need. If you need to figure out exactly how to make your trip the most efficient, just take a different amount of food until you find an amount that's right for you. Okay, so let's get to comparing the loot. Like I said before, I'll be comparing my drops to bot 1, bot 2, and bot 3 and seeing if I can do better, and if so, how much better. So for a quick refresher, level 75 to 85 bot 1 is at 190k per hour, 95 to 105 bot 2 is, we'll say, about 265k per hour, and level 115 bot 3 is guaranteeing us at least 365k per hour. So as usual, I killed the Green Dragons for a total time of 25 hours. I managed to grab 3,535 kills in this amount of time, which is a lot more than I thought it would be, and it averaged me 141 kills per hour. In addition to the 3,535 dragon bones and hides I got, I managed to pick up 28 rune daggers, 1,980 nature runes, 19k water runes, 96 ensouled dragon heads, and 40 grimy Renar weeds. So let's throw this into the price checker and see what I come out with. 15,836,775 total GP. That is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought I was going to be sitting around like 11 or 12 mil or something after 25 hours. But as for supplies, I ended up using 31 super attacks, 31 super strengths, 1,102 lobsters, 314 law runes, and 314 soul runes, bringing my total supply cost to 351,384 GP. So let's get those bot numbers up on the screen again. There we go. After subtracting the supply cost, I'm left with right around 15.5 mil. 15.5 mil in 25 hours gives me a profit of 620k per hour. Smash those bots. So for the few of you that actually requested to see 25 hours of Green Dragons, there you go. This is a look into how much can actually be earned at the Green Dragons while comparing it to bot creators that claim you can make the most cash per hour possible with their bots. Bullshit. So my question is, if you can make nearly double the profit per hour yourself, why even risk getting your account banned for only a fraction of the amount that you yourself can pull in? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, 25 hours of Green Dragons was pretty boring, but at the end of the day, that 15.5 mil profit makes me pretty happy. Even though the killing the dragons was pretty boring, to say the least, putting together the information in the video itself was, as always, a ton of fun. I've still got 7 episodes left in this series, and I'm definitely looking forward to all of them. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Every single one helps a ton. And if you haven't yet, make sure, before you leave, you hit that subscribe button for me. I will really appreciate it, I promise, and maybe I'll give you a prize. 1 GP. That's what I'll give you for a subscribe. That's it, guys. I will see you guys next week. Take it easy.